Hi, and welcome to ACES Centre. This is the Unit of Competency ICAI 4097B, Installing and Configuring a Network. This Unit of Competency will address the following elements. Confirm client requirements and network equipment required. Install hardware. Install software. Configure and test modified network. And finally, document and sign off. Element 1. Confirm client requirements and network equipment required. This will assess the following performance criteria. Identify, clarify and organise requirements of the client relevant to network needs following organisational requirements. Evaluate the requirements along with business needs in order to translate into technical requirements. Review existing network design documentation to ensure it is current and complete. Identify the components, both hardware and software, that are required to be installed to meet the technical requirements. Contact vendors to obtain specifications and availability of identified components. Element 2. Install hardware. This will assess the following performance criteria. Develop plans with prioritised tasks and contingency arrangements for installation of components with minimum disruption to client. Liaise with appropriate person to obtain approval for the plans, including security clearance and timing. Confirm that cables and associated components have been installed in accordance with industry standards and building requirements for the type of cables and bandwidth. Install and configure server hardware in accordance with organisational and industry standards following plans. Install and configure computer and other hardware in accordance with organisational and industry standards following plans. Install and configure other hardware or components in accordance with organisational and industry standards following plans. Element 3. Install software. This will assess the following performance criteria. Install and configure server software in accordance with organisational procedures and industry standards following plans. Install and configure software in accordance with organisational procedures and industry standards following the plan. Install and configure other software required for the network to operate following the plan. Element 4. Configure and test the modified network. This will assess the following performance criteria. Test the installed software and hardware, utilising available technical tools to ensure that all components are functioning as expected. Test the network to ensure it is functioning according to specification. Resolve problems identified in the modified network. Element 5. Document and sign off. This will assess the following performance criteria. Complete hardware and asset recording document in line with organisational requirements. Document installation, boot up and configuration procedures as per organisational requirements. Secure sign-off from appropriate person. This unit of competency will require the following knowledge. Broad knowledge of current industry accepted hardware and software products. Broad knowledge of the client business domain, business function and organisation, for example when confirming client requirements and network equipment. Broad knowledge of networking technologies incorporating substantial depth in some areas, for example network operating systems and cabling standards. Broad knowledge of transmission technologies and protocols. This unit of competency will require the following skills. An understanding of network systems and software. The ability to work with hardware. Plain English literacy and communication skills in relation to dealing with clients. Report writing skills for business requiring depth in some areas, analysis and evaluation of information in a defined range of areas. For example, when hardware and asset recording documentation is completed in line with organisational requirements. Research skills for identifying, analysing and evaluating broad features of a particular business domain and best practice in networking technologies. For example, when network components, both hardware and software, that are required to be installed are identified. Project planning skills in relation to set benchmarks and identified scope. And finally, problem-solving skills in a predictable range of network problems. This is the end of the relevant information for this unit of competency. Thank you.